What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I am the Poetic Killer, and in today's video, we're going to be reading the poem The Story Continues. Let's get to it. Although this is the last page, the chapter continues. No need to force any energy that isn't even for you. When you create a purpose for yourself, the magic begins. The point is to be a director and an actor of your movie scene. Traumas is not something that can be taken away in a day. Create a safe space to easily detach from all things that lead you astray. This world is so vast, so don't fight against the esoteric waves. Always conquer your pain and fears. Don't let depression lead you to an early grave. Either stand for something or fall for anything. A strong foundation is needed. The law of cause and effect proves why you should act how you want to be treated. Distractions of the world can blind the soul to its true essence of power. Grow your mental seed and let your light spread Grow your mental seed and let your light spread to the world like a sunflower. All creations in existence is the expression of the nature of duality. When one knows thyself, then they can discover the true beauty of spirituality. And that is the story continues. Now it says, although this is the last page, the chapter continues. No need to force any energy that isn't even for you. So whenever you feel like one door is closing, another door is opening. You have to always remember that when one thing closes, another must open. So death and life is hand in hand simultaneously. Once one thing dies, something else has to give birth. And when one thing gives birth, that thing has to die. You know what I mean? It's a cycle. So never be too hard on yourself when one situation closes because it's only opening up for something new. And even if that new situation is something that is not of your favor, that means you got to ponder and look back on what you did that sabotaged something that was good for you. So that when you do close this new chapter, also, you can have a new chapter that actually is for you. So you're always pondering and self reflecting and doing self evaluation on what needs to be closed and what needs to be shut down for something new. So never feel like the world is ending because something is closing or something is leaving you. It's actually something that needs to happen. It's a natural process that needs to happen for you to bring something new forth. And then it says, when you create a purpose for yourself, the magic begins. The point is to be the director and actor of your movie scene. So, like I said in my previous video, every word that we're saying is bringing out spells. That's why it's called the spelling language. It's a spell. It's a vibration, right? Like my voice brings a certain tone, and certain tone has to do with vibrations. So when you bring vibrations, that's what brings life into things. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the frequency, which is just what is, which is like your soul. It just is. It's just there, right? We're all living beings. We're all existing, right? So that's our soul. It's the unseen, but it's just there. And then you got the vibration. That's what makes it move. That's the feminine energy, or you want to call the subconscious, the vibration. That's what makes it move. And then you got into the masculine energy, which is the physical energy, the physical matter, which is the physical reality that we're in. So everything is a trinity. Everything is threes. Like in the movie Matrix, you see Trinity, and she was a female, right? And in the movie, he said the guy Neo was like, "Oh, I thought Trinity was a man, right?" And she was like, "Hey, that's what everyone thinks." So that's very deep. You have to realize everything is really connected, and the more you dive in and you analyze things how it truly meant to be, then everything will start to make sense. So it's very important for you to be the director and actor of your movie scene. You have to see these things like whatever. If you want to see like a game, an arcade game, you want to see like a movie, whatever way you can program your mind to realize that this is something that you're here to be your best version of yourself. You know what I mean? And that is up to you to create. You're here to create your own character, like in the metaverse, you got your own emoji, right? In movies, you have your own character, the main character, the hero, right? You have to do that though. You have to direct that, and just like you direct your mind, you have to also direct your character. So you have to go through self-evaluation and shadow work and things like that to help you really reach that destination that you need to reach. And then it says, traumas is not something that can be taken away in a day. Create a safe space to easily detach from all things that lead you astray. So, never be too hard on yourself in whatever you're going through. whatever situation you're going through that is still impacting you to this day, it's something that is a process. It's something that you have to work on. It's something that is long. It might not be long lasting, but it might take a while, and you have to be comfortable with that. You have to be okay with that. That this is a work in progress. It's a everyday progress type of thing. It's not something that can just be gone just like that. So yeah, and then it says create a safe space to easily detach from all things that lead you astray. So anything that is easily distracting, that doesn't serve your purpose, that doesn't make you a greater person or better your life and get a better version of yourself, that is something that is leading you astray. So you have to be very sensitive to the psyche to realize what are these things that are leading me astray. And this could be anything. And so we're all dealing with this. You know what I'm saying? It could be power, it could be money, it could be greed, it could be lust, it could be food addiction, whatever it is. We're all going through something, and you're here to master that. And once you master that, you can evolve into the next level, because there is no point being here if you cannot master anything. If you already mastered everything, you won't be here. You know what I mean? So you want to always reach the best version of yourself, and that's what the soul clings onto. It clings onto expansion. It clings onto something new. It clings onto something transformative. It clings onto something that is a new paradigm, a new perspective. You know what I'm saying? It's always clinging on to something new, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to transform, get into the womb and expand, get into another womb and expand, and create that pulse within our life. And then it says, this world is so vast, so don't fight against the esoteric waves. Always conquer your pain and fears. Don't let depression lead you to an early grave. So what it's saying that what it's saying is this world is so vast. It's saying that there's so many people in this world, and sometimes when you deal with anxiety, you're always worrying about what other people think of you. But one great thing, a great strategy to reset that is to realize that wait a minute, I'm one person amongst billions of other people. So if I'm one person amongst billions of other people, why would I put that responsibility and that work on myself to realize that I have to conform to how everyone else perceives me? You know what I'm saying? Because that will be a job that you have to do for the rest of your life. But the more you find who you are as a person, and you also at the same time, it's not about being arrogant where you're like, oh, this is who I am and I'm not going to change. It's all about realizing, okay, what is the good parts? Like if I was to self evaluate myself and I was to take myself outside of my body and I was to observe myself, the way I interact with other people, is this the type of way I would want to interact that I feel like I'm getting good results? Or is this a way where I want to interact where I realize that, okay, this isn't really helping me? And the more you realize, okay, no matter what, it's not about the outside world. It's not about how they perceive you. It's all about how you perceive yourself. So if you feel like, okay, me eating healthy, me having a healthy mind, me, you know, having knowledge and wisdom and always seeking for greater truth, that is a good attribute to have, right? But if that actually offends other people, then you realize, wait a minute, I have to put myself first. Because if I was to do the opposite of that, then I'm not really bettering myself. You know what I mean? So if other people try to peer pressure you to do the otherwise, then that has to show you that, okay, I'm in an environment that doesn't actually encourages the better version of myself. So I need to move to a better environment. Or if you are doing something that you know deep down, if someone else was to do that to you, you wouldn't like, then you have to realize, okay, maybe I have to self evaluate and do some shadow work and change that about myself so that when I do interact with other people, then I'm more convicted that, okay, I'm doing the right thing. So even if they are against that, I have no guilt or feel ashamed of what I'm doing, because I know that's what they would want for themselves. They want to be the better version of themselves, just like I want to be the better version of myself. So if they're doing that, that's just them being a narcissist and self projecting. So this is why you have to be very strong in yourself and do that evaluation work to realize, okay, I need to work on myself, or you know what? No, I'm good how I am, and it's just the outside world that is trying to self project. It's very important because you can easily get blinded and realize that, oh, maybe I should change myself to make other people feel pleased. But then that's you losing yourself. So it's very important that you're still the main character, you're still the main director and actor of your movie scene. And you can switch your roles, as the director, because you know how to interact with other people. But it's very important that you still know thyself. And then it says, you either stand for something or fall for anything. A strong foundation is needed. The law of cause and effect proves why you should act how you want to be treated, right? So it's saying that you either stand for something or you fall for anything. So you have to stand for yourself. That's what it means by standing for something. So you have to know thyself. And the more you know thyself, aka you know your attributes, your capabilities, you know your connection to this world, you know your connection to this outside nature. You know what I'm saying? You know all these things. You're studying yourself, you're studying your outside world and the connection between the two. You know what I'm saying? And the more you can do these things, the more you'll realize that, okay, I am standing for something. I am creating a foundation. It's a foundation of myself. Because if you don't stand for yourself, then you can easily fall for anything. Anyone can just come and chop off your foundation, aka your legs that you're standing on, which is very weak, and you'll just fall. So it's very important to have a strong foundation, but at the same time, not be rigid and still be fluid. You know what I mean? You can still redirect yourself and things like that, but you still have a strong foundation. Um, and then it says the law of cause and effect proves why you should act how you want to be treated. So it's very important that you act onto other people how you want to be treated, because if you act onto others and you don't want to be treated like that, then it's going to come right back around. You know what I mean? So somehow it's always going to come back around, because, and we're all guilty of these things. This is not something where it's like I'm trying to preach and I'm trying to say I'm holier than thou. We're all going through these type of things. It's all about just being knowledgeable and wise and realize, okay, what is it that I need to fix about myself so that I can know when I'm doing certain things, I don't have no guilt when I'm doing them. You know what I mean? And as long as you have no guilt in what you're doing, no matter what other people perceive as good and bad, because good and bad is subjective, it's not an objective thing. You know what I mean? Good and bad, depending on the perceiver, is who perceives it as good and bad, right? Like a fruit. Some people might love apples, but some people might be allergic to apples. So good and bad is subjective, depending on who it is. Yeah, the law of cause and effect. You know what I mean? Whatever you cause into existence, into nature, into the universe, or into your reality, whatever you cause into your reality is going to have an effect. So if you're working out, you're eating good, you're going to have the effect of looking healthy and looking radiant. If you have a cause of eating whatever or injecting whatever mentality into your body, then that's going to have an effect on you. So you might feel more weighed down, you might feel drained, or you might feel fatigued, or you might feel more bloated from what you're eating. So everything, every action has a cause and effect. So be very mindful of that. Distractions of the world can blind the soul to its true essence of power. Grow your mental seed and let your light spread to the world like a sunflower. So distractions can be anything. You know what I mean? And we all distract ourselves sometimes to soothe our pain. We all distract ourselves sometimes to not face what we have to face, whether it's an ambition, or it's a goal, or it's a something you want to reach by the end of the year, whatever it is that you want to do, and whatever you want to bring into fruition. Sometimes you can easily get distracted. You know what I mean? It could be a relationship you're getting distracted by. It could be your work you're getting distracted by. It could be a situation in your family you're getting distracted by. And you can lose sight of your actual mission that you're here to bring. We're all here to bring our own mission into this world. We're all here to fulfill our mission. But if you don't have a mission, then you're always going to feel empty inside, because you're just here existing with nothing to do. So it's very important you find your capabilities, and whatever your capabilities are is what you'll utilize for your mission. Um, and then it says, grow your mental seed and let your light spread to the world like a sunflower. So if you want to grow your mental seed, you have to have energy. You have to have actions. That's how you grow your mental seed. You know what I'm saying? The more you grow, you add that light. Light has to do with the masculine energy. Light has to do with the actions, planning things, logically planning it, and then taking that action towards it, and then bringing it out into the physical world, into the reality. And that's how you practice the energy of light. And it says, all creations in existence is the expression of nature of duality. When one knows thyself, then they discover the true beauty of spirituality. So all creation in existence is the expression of nature of duality. You know what I'm saying? Even your body is an expression of duality. That's why you got two eyes, you got two ears, you got an upper and lower mouth, you got, hair up here and you got hair up down here. You know what I'm saying? Everything is duality. Your whole body is expression of duality. Just like existence is an expression of duality. You can't have up without down. You cannot have in without out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You cannot have liquid without solid. So everything is duality. Just like your body is duality. You have your upper part from your waist up, and then you got your waist down. You got two arms, just like you got two legs. You got a head that creates from here, and you also have a head, which is your phallus, that creates for the men, right? We create in terms of externalizing as the men, while the females receive. You know what I mean? So that's why you have the energy of Eve in these type of word: receive, deceive. All these things are something that is receptive. You're taking within yourself. That is the feminine energy. That's why if you see with electricity, you got the plug, which represents the masculine energy or the phallus, and then you got the socket or the socket, whatever you call it, that represents the feminine energy where you put the plug into. And that's what creates electricity. You know what I'm saying? Just like the male and the female. The male externalize, the female internalize. So when you realize these things, everything starts to make sense. You know what I mean? Everything starts to make sense. Everything's all about balance, like ma'a, duality. Um, and then it says, when one knows thyself, then they discover the true beauty of spirituality. Because spirituality is not something where it's not all about, because when people hear the word spirituality, they think of people with rocks and just being crazy, running around naked in the bush or something like that. But that's not what spirituality is. And now I'm not saying those things, I'm not shaming those things. I'm just saying that's what the general society thinks of as spirituality. But spirituality is just having an in tune connection with yourself, an in tune connection with God. You know what I mean? God is within you. You know what I mean? And outside of you. It's in and outside of you. You have to realize these things. Whenever someone says one thing is polarized, that's when you get confused. But once you realize that everything is external and internal, and they're both connected, that's when you realize, okay, so something can be inside of me and also be outside of me at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And that's when everything will start to make sense. But yeah, when one knows thyself, then they discover the true beauty of spirituality. Okay, you discover the true beauty of yourself. Spirituality is just another word for individuality. It's all about learning yourself, learning your capabilities, learning your connection with God, learning your connection with the universe, learning your connection with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And once you know these things, that's when things will actually start to make sense for you. So yeah, guys, that is the story continues. Always remember that everything is a continuation. Nothing just stops. When one door closes, another door must open. And that's when it's time for you to take on a new journey and embark on a new odyssey. So yeah, guys, that is the poem for today's video. Hope you guys gained something new. That was the story continues. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you soon.